So, Ina, how are you?
I'm just Ducky.
Ducky? Are you
Yes.
Ducky?
Yes.
So, Ina, tell us your name.
Ina Feinberg.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Wonderful. Born and raised?
No, I'm from Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yes, little
What-
Southern Belle.
Oh, yeah. And what brought you up to D.C.?
Corporate relo. I was in telecommunications. I was with MCI. They acquired the company I was with, so I started to work for MCI in
Okay.
D.C. about 18 years ago.
Wow. And now, who are you with now?
American College of Cardiology.
And what do you do for them?
Associate Director of Exhibit Marketing. So I handle our exhibit at our annual meeting as well as other cardiovascular society trade shows. So
long
I'm still an exhibitor even though I work for an association.
Got it. And how long have you been doing that?
I've been with them 2.5 years.
Wow.
And in this industry, over 30.
You want to drop a couple of zeros?
I could, but
Yeah.
I was about 3.5
Yeah.
when I started on the show.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how long you been coming to TS2?
Since 1981.
Wow. Show gets better and better.
Yeah.
Are you a member of TSEA?
Yes.
Excellent. How long you been a member?
Well, off and on for several years.
Okay.
Last time is 2 years running.
Wonderful. Okay, so you've traveled a lot. You've been traveling, doing things, trade shows. Do you have any stories for us?
Well, when I was with MCI, I had a huge event for our clients, and we were in Dallas, and we had planned a dessert event. We were competing, with a lot of other parties, and it was a country cabaret, and we had booked Tanya Tucker to play. And there were like 750 RSVPs. It was going to happen at the Anatole. I used to also run our booth, which was 6,000 square feet. Opening morning of my show, it was a telecom show, key show for us. I get a call from our marketing and production talent person that he's just received a call that Tanya is sick and is not coming.
Now, what did you do?
Well,
What were your thoughts
my
at that point?
thoughts were, okay. And he said, but I'm already working on it. I said, okay, but I need a name. I want a name. I don't want a local band. I need a name. And I said, let me just get this next hour over with and I'll meet you at the hotel. And I didn't say a word to anybody. I walked around smiling, going, oh, okay then. It was such a huge shock that I just stayed calm. I hooked up with him at his hotel, and he had found through the William Morris agency that he could get a number of people who were available. And one of them refused to come because, well, let me back up. We decided we would go to any lengths to get them. So I contacted corporate MCI, and they agreed to let me have use of the corporate jet so that if we needed to get somebody there in a hurry, that they would send it. Well, we finally got the Oak Ridge Boys. The only problem was this group was scattered around on vacation in between gigs. They were in Florida, one guy was in California, another guy was in Georgia on a vacation, and they started rounding them up, and they had to get their band. So they flew the band to Dallas directly. The rest of them, they had the highway patrol tracked one guy down on his way from Florida back to Memphis or wherever. Another guy they pulled off his vacation. They grabbed the guys, got them, the plane picked them up in Memphis. They landed in Dallas 15 minutes before they were supposed to go on stage. And when they walked out, all they could do was talk about how MCI would go to any length for their customers. And between every song, that's what they did. So they were so amazed that we would fly them and have this jet waiting, and that we sent the others commercial.
Yeah.
So the show went on, and nobody knew because it was a country cabaret. And my boss, when he found out, said, "I can't believe how calm you were." And I just said, "Well, you know, it was so big an issue, I couldn't do anything." And it ended up that they gave me a Marketing Achievement Award as a result of being calm under fire for them to come. We had also located one other singer, and this singer refused to fly because he found out the plane, the corporate jet, was a Falcon. And he said he wouldn't fly on one because he was supposed to have been on Buddy Holly's plane. It was Waylon Jennings, and he wouldn't come because of the plane. So we ended up with the Oak Ridge Boys, and they were phenomenal. And so we got more, the customers just were raving. They couldn't believe that we made it happen. And this started at 9:30 in the morning, and the event, they walked on stage at 8:15 p.m.
What a great story.
It was awesome.
But doesn't it pay to be a calm meeting planner?
Yeah, it really
pays
did.
off.
I mean, it was like, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to get someone. We had an excellent supplier who was good to his word. He had excellent agency contacts. And once we said, they're only time away, and if we can get them there, so their agents started rounding them up, and it just fell into place because the flight from Memphis to Dallas was not that long. And so we had the bulk of the day to find them and get them. So they rallied them about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And who was the supplier? Do you remember?
Jim Polimas in Washington, D.C. He worked for a company that I cannot remember the name.
Got it.
But he was amazing. And he said, "I was so afraid that you were going to just go ballistic like anybody would, or that, you know." And I didn't tell anybody. It was just Jim and I and one other person that called corporate, and we got the plane.
You know what? And that pays off, like when it's a really good meeting planner supplier relationship. The supplier works really hard for those people who they know the business. You know the business. Something's always going to go wrong.
Right.
And it's just how you deal with it.
We were lucky.
Yeah.
We were lucky.
Great story. Thank you so
Oh, you're
much.
welcome.
That knocked it out of the park right there.